from
The crowd erupted
No
in shock.
way!
A slow clap
It's not
echoed
what
from
you
the
think.
back, not in surprise, but like
Oh,
someone had
it's
been
exactly
waiting
what
for
they
this
think.
moment. The crowd parted instantly. A woman stepped forward, calm, confident, and unshaken. The man's face drained of color the moment he saw her. She didn't look at him. She walked straight to the girl and stopped right in front of her. The air grew heavy. Everyone held their breath. Then she spoke, calm, clear, and deadly. She wasn't just another stranger. She was his wife, but instead of anger, she turned to the girl and said something no one expected. Thank you. Because this moment just saved her from a lifetime mistake. The man panicked, trying to stop, but she was already pulling out her phone, and with one tap, everything began to fall apart. On the screen was the same man proposing to another woman, not years ago, but just days before. The crowd exploded again, but the wife stayed calm.
I'm just getting
she turned
started.
slowly, looked at
You
the
think
girl,
you're the
and asked
only one? What do you mean?
3 women
Don't
stepped
listen to
out
her.
of the crowd. The man staggered backward. His face went white. One woman held old photos. Another held a baby. The crowd went silent. Then one of them said, "He promised to marry all of us."
This is a setup. They're lying.
Phones were recording everywhere. The girl who got proposed to could barely breathe.
Why are you smiling? Because this isn't even the real
Smiling.
surprise.
Please don't.
She pulled out an
I didn't
envelope.
come here for heartbreak. I came with proof.
I came with evidence.
Proof of what?
fake names,
This wasn't just cheating
stolen
anymore.
money, multiple fake marriages. Can
You're a
explain.
fraud.
The wife leaned close
I
and
didn't
whispered,
expose a
"I
cheating
didn't expose a
husband.
husband.
I
I exposed
exposed
a
a
con
con
artist."
artist.
Then police sirens echoed nearby, and one officer shouted, "Nobody move." The wife turned,
Nobody
smiled,
move.
and said, "Now
No.
tell them about the missing money."
Now tell them about the missing money.
As police moved to arrest, shouted, "Don't take him yet." The whole crowd froze.
Don't take him yet. What
Even the
now?
officer she walked toward him slowly, tears in her eyes. Then said, "You stole more than money." The man looked terrified. Because he knew what she meant, she pulled out one final envelope. The crowd leaned closer. Inside was a photograph. An old photo of a little boy. The man started shaking. "No, not that." The wife raised the photo and said, "This was our son." The crowd gasped. She fought tears. He needed surgery.
He needed surgery.
No.
I begged for money. But he stole the hospital money.
Forgive me, please.
You didn't just betray women. You let your own child
The
die!
crowd burst into outrage. Then one officer opened the stolen money file and whispered, "Wait, there's another name involved." Everyone turned. The wife's smile disappeared.
This fraud had a partner.
Tell her who signed the papers.
Ma'am, the other name is?
Your brother. The wife stood motionless. Then the envelope slipped from her hand. The crowd gasped in disbelief. His smile. She whispered, "No." Her own brother. Then something even stranger happened. Smiling. And somehow, that was even more terrifying. The officer opened another file. Bank transfers, signatures, secret accounts. The wife shook her head in denial. "My brother would never ask who taught me the scam." And the world seemed to go silent. Before anyone could react, tires screamed. A car stopped beside the crowd. Doors slammed. A man stepped out. The wife screamed, "David!" Her brother, alive, and walking toward them. The crowd exploded, but he stayed calm. He walked forward slowly and said, then pointed at the husband, "You blamed the wrong monster. He didn't betray you alone. We did it together." Tears filled the wife's eyes. Her own brother.
But he hid one final secret.
What secret? Don't say it.
Ask him who your real father is.
looked at the first girl, then leaned in and whispered, "Ask him who your real father is." The girl's face changed. The
Tell
husband
me, who is my father?
I am.
And in one moment, the entire crowd erupted in shock. She stumbled backward in disbelief. Everything she thought she knew was breaking apart. He claimed her mother took her away years ago, but the wife stepped in and said, "Tell her the whole truth." Then the wife laughed, not with joy, but with pain. A broken laugh that silenced everyone, and she said, "He still hasn't told you why." She pulled out an old unopened letter and handed it to the girl. It was from her mother. As she read the words inside, her hands began to shake. Then she looked up in tears and whispered the unthinkable. "You sold me." The crowd gasped. He begged for mercy, but the wife called it what it was: greed. Police stepped forward again. The man collapsed in regret. The girl stood frozen in heartbreak, and just as they began taking him away, someone shouted, "Wait." Her brother revealed one final secret. There
Tell
was
her
a
about the
twin,
twin.
a sister she never knew existed. The girl could barely
Twin?
whisper, "I have a twin." And then,
You have a